Nef, and thank you for coming. Hey guys, it's Steph the Nef, and thank you for coming back to my channel. Now today I want to talk a little bit about my career choices. So now, if you don't know me before this, just a little snippet. I've always been a nerd and always been into school. I didn't break out of my nerd mold until I was maybe out of high school, and even then I've just always been that nerdy friend. So school to me has always been important. My parents have always implied that role in my head, so it's kind of more of like, you have to get good grades. It's just always been that way. So I mean, I was a very good student. I graduated from Cal Poly. I have a bachelor's in sociology and I loved it. I loved going to visit my patients. I loved seeing them every week. We had a set schedule, and I mean, although I did have 2 patients pass away while I was visiting, I knew that they were ready, and a lot of the nurses would like tell me like their time is coming, and they really felt like they wanted to get me ready. But I was like, I'm okay, like I'm here to support them, and I'm very good at that. I'm here to support them, and I want them to be comfortable before they part. And I felt so relieved, like being able to just help them. Like I would go over, and if they had to call their children, if they needed to open mail, if they wanted to write a letter, like I literally would go visit, check their case, make sure everything was set right, and then just hang out with them. And I didn't have to stay, but it was just that word puzzle you solved with them, or that news report you watched with them and talked about it. Like I really loved working with old people, and I pass senior homes all the time, and I always have to take a double look. Like it's where my heart is. It makes me want to cry. It's where my heart is, but it's not what they pay, and it kind of sucks because these people, I'm like, these like elderly people, they just really wish that they could not be forgotten, and that's a lot, and it happens a lot in those homes. And I just made sure I would go every week, and I made sure that I didn't miss a visit. And rest in peace, Peter, because that's literally who I'm thinking about, because you don't know what these old people are going through. And I really invested myself in just making their day better. There was one of the patients, she was really mean, and I can understand that people were like, I hate old people. She was very mean, and she did not want to see me. Every time, I'm not getting better, but every time I would go and be like, hey, like I'm here to see you, she would like sigh, or she would just like, I don't want to see you today, come back next week. And I would just always be like, okay, I'll be like, it's optional, you know, like I'll come back next week, just gotta make sure you're good. So I realized that her niche was flowers, and she hated that the flowers in the garden there were just roses. She wanted to see tulips. She wanted to see other flowers that she used to grow in her own garden, but obviously she can't. She's in a home. So a way to get through to her was just buying her different flowers when I visited. That little thing got her to crack, and after that I got to know her so much, so well. And she had so many stories to tell me, and it was just, I had to figure out how to get through her. And just like with her, I got through with Peter, and it was just a job that I really saw myself getting into. I really was just like, wow, like these are the 2 patients that just stayed with me. Like I can't wait to meet more. And that wasn't the case. As soon as I started applying to other jobs in the business, and even in my own internship, like they told me straight up, they're not paying for social workers. We need nurses. And obviously nurses are important. We need nurses, but the psychology of it and the social work aspect, these people are just lonely, and there's not funding for it. And I was getting like job offers and internships, but it wasn't paying enough. And not even in senior homes. I was getting jobs in just like doing social work in other ways. Like I was getting offered to be a counselor for special ed, and it wasn't a counseling job. That's why I do this, because it was mostly like me taking care of them and making sure that they don't do nothing crazy. But it's like, that wasn't what I was into. Like I wanted to work with elderly, but yet there's no openings there. So after a whole year of just being frustrated with not finding a job, I just needed to look elsewhere. So I decided that I was gonna turn more of my hobby, which is always giving myself facials, into my career. And I realized that a lot of my friends were going to get facials done, or were investing their money in it. And I mean, it's a good feeling to still be able to help people. And although it's not who my heart desires to help, I'm helping other people with their own insecurities and helping them with their own problems. Like, I've had acne, so I know what you mean when you tell me I graduated with a pimple like right here in high school, and then I graduated with another one right here in college. Like, I hated that I always got a pimple the week that I graduated, but it was obviously because of the stress. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but it's just, I hated it. Like, every picture I could point out the pimple that bothered me. And I have one pore right here that every time I ate hot Cheetos, I would break out right there. So I mean, I hate having to know what it's like to be a pimple face, but because of that, now I am hopefully gonna help others that have the same problem. And I mean, the program has been really fun so far because of just getting hands-on. I mean, the theory has been whack, because theory means that you have to do lecture like any other class. Like, you do lecture all of morning, and I mean, we were doing a chapter a day, a test a day, and we had a different teacher every day. So when I'm telling you, the program was kind of like thrown off in the beginning, like, it was just, I was just going with the punches. I was like, now it's you, because we didn't have a set teacher. And turns out that's how they do it. Like, every day is a different teacher, every day is a different chapter, everybody teaches differently. So it's more of like, what can you grasp, because you're gonna need it when you get out of here. So it's all about how you want to run your own business, because what you learn right now is what you're gonna pass on. And it's a lot of information. Like, we learn about keratin in our hair, we learn about any anatomy, physiology aspect of our bodies. We have to learn, because if we're treating someone, we have to know if they have low blood pressure, diabetes, if they're pregnant, if they're thinking about getting pregnant. Like, all these aspects have to do with the machinery that we use and the facials that we use. And at first I was kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna learn a little bit about science, you know? No, like, these classes are in depth, and we go into the blood, into the anything you can think of. Like, we go in there because we have to know how, from the décolleté up, everything works, because that's what we're treating. We're treating your face, the front, and maybe your back if you need it. So I mean, the schooling, I'm not gonna tell you it's easy. Like, you have to invest, and the classes from 8 to 3:30, so it's your whole day, your whole week. So when you're doing the program, you just kind of have to realize that social life is gone, and it's an investment for your future. So it's a good reminder. Like, once you're done, you're gonna be good. Once you're done, you're gonna be good. Because as for the business side of it, this is very, very open. You can decide if you want to open up your own salon. You can decide if you want to go work for somebody else. Like, it's up to us where we take our skills and where we take what we learned. And as for me, like, I plan on working at a spa because I like to learn from other people. I like to remember, like, oh, this is how she did it. Or, you know, other people are always great teachers, because if you think you know it all, you're not going to get far. And if you're very cocky, that's not going to help either, because if you think like, oh, I got this, like, I'm just going to open my salon right off the bat, and you don't really know your stuff, like, who are you gonna ask when you're stuck in the middle? Like, oh, I'm the owner, right? So I mean, I'm just thinking of it in that aspect where I want to learn the program. I want to learn the business aspect of it, because I want to see it myself. And then in the long run, in the future, like, I do want to have maybe my own salon, but I'm not making that a set goal right now, because just like I thought I was going to be a social worker, I don't know where I'm going to be 2 years from now. And I do plan on having a family within the next 4 years, so I have to be in a business where I am a little comfortable with my schedule, and I do make my own money. I decide my appointments. So I mean, everything in the beauty industry just turned out to be what I needed at this moment. And I'm not giving up on social work. It's just a pause. And who knows, maybe I do esthetician and I just hate it. Like, I can always go back and get my master's. Like, that's always gonna be there for me, and it's my safety net. Like, I cried a lot because I just felt very depressed, because I felt like, wow, like, all that time, all that money that I spent for school is just nothing came out of it. I even sold my car for my last semester of college because I didn't have any money. I sold my car, and that's it. Like, I didn't make any profit from my bachelor's yet. And I want to leave it at that, because although I didn't get any financial profit, I know that being in Soch and that major really opened up my eyes to seeing the world and not being so close-minded, in the sense that, like, I've had conversations with people who can be very close-minded, and just take a couple Soch classes. Like, let them open up your eyes, because people are so privileged here, and it's just so like, it bothers me. But back to what we were saying, back to skin. I love being able to help people. I love being able to just be like, hey, I'm gonna do this to your pimple and it's gonna be gone in 2 days. Like, the machinery is pretty dope. I love the galvanic. I love the high frequency. Like, you think that they're not doing anything on the face, but then, like, you see them after and you're just like, whoa, like, I did that. Like, we practice on each other. So we get facials done, we get facials, and it's just fun to see, like, the process being done. And I mean, the beauty industry is growing, and what's the best part about it? People love themselves. So people are willing to pay for, let me get a fresh face, let me look bomb before I get married. I mean, I can see myself growing in the business, because I know that it's up to me how far I get, and it's up to me how far I spread my work. I hope that by the end of the program, I am efficient in the massages, I am efficient in my knowledge, because I need to make sure I don't scar anybody up. I need to make sure I don't hurt anybody and give them a more embarrassing thing in their face, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just, a lot can go wrong, and that's why we're going to school, because we're dealing with people's faces. It's the first thing you see, it's the first thing you deal with, and being able to either help or scar someone, like, that's very, very close, like, a thin line between that. So, I mean, I just want to be prepared, and that's the one thing that I'm really hard on myself, is just make sure I know my shit, because I want people to trust me and be like, yeah, like, she does good work, and, you know, spread my vibes around. So, I mean, if you're out there thinking about how you're switching your career so drastically, and sometimes it just has to be done, and it took me about 6 months to just accept that I was done with social work. But it only took me 2 to figure out what my next step was. There's enough room for all of us. It's just, you gotta get there. And I really hope that if you guys have any doubts about changing your career, don't let your parents or your surroundings distract you. Like, do what you want, because I didn't think I was gonna be an esthetician. Not as a kid, not as a teenager, I never even knew that I could do this and not have to be a dermatologist. I always thought, like, you have to be a dermatologist to work in skin, and I didn't know that he has, like, his little nurse that's gonna be me, you know? Thank you guys for watching. This video was just more of a vent. I'm starting this program. It's only been 2 months. I'm done till November. So it's just accepting that I'm done with social work, and now I'm doing skin, and it's been a good, smooth ride. I don't regret it. I can't wait to see the results, and I can't wait to just get my hands on my friends and just start working on them, because it's gonna be fun to just be like, now I got you down. Like, now I got you down here, and I'm gonna work on you and make you look better. So it's fun. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your homegirls, tell your homies to come and look at my channel, because I'm gonna be working on your skin at one point. So thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.